Say, remember when I announced I would be doing a remake of top 15 Pokemon movies? Well, I lied. Kind of. While rewatching these films, I had so much to say about them that I couldn't fit a 2 to 3 minute segment of a countdown. And since a lot of people in this community don't like long-ass countdowns, I decided to come up with an alternative. I'm going to review/analyze all 17 movies. Why not 18 since Hoopa's movie came out recently? Well, I'll get to that in a bit. So, yeah, obvious spoiler warning is obvious. But before I begin, I have one more thing to say. I am not going to be comparing the English version of these films to the Japanese version. I know there's a ton of material I could cover by just doing that, but I never saw the Japanese versions of these films. My experience is with the English version, and as such, I will be judging how good or bad the film is based on that. Which basically means I will be judging the movies not as a dub, but from the mindset that this film was created by North Americans. So yeah, the only reason I'm not talking about the Hoopa movie is because the dub isn't out yet. But hey, if this project goes well, then I might do the Hoopa movie after the dub comes out near the end of the year. That's usually when they come out anyway. Now that we got that out of the way, it's time to kick off this new series. Pokemon the first movie. First hyped up in the episode Battle for the Badge, I was excited to see their first attempt at bringing Pokemon to the big screen. So, how did it turn out? Well, let's find out. The film's story begins with the birth of Mewtwo, a clone of Mew, except not really since it's modified and looks nothing like Mew. Anyways, after a couple incidents with humans, including a scene where he murders all the scientists who created him, he ponders what his purpose is. A couple minutes later, he decides that his purpose is to take over the world. Sort of. Ash gets a letter to go to a mysterious island never seen before to battle
the strongest Pokemon trainer ever,
and decides, hey, let's go to this place. Maybe I can actually win something for once. Once he arrives, he talks to some fodder characters previously seen at a harbor, and after that, they are introduced to
the strongest Pokemon trainer ever,
Mewtwo, who plans to recreate the world after destroying it, including killing the humans and the Pokemon associated with humans. Wait, what? Did I mess up Mewtwo's plans in the script or something? He then shows them how he will fight the trainers, with modified clones of the fully evolved Kanto starters. After Ash and friends get their asses kicked, their Pokemon get stolen and turned into clones which Mewtwo plans to have inherit the Earth. Wait, what? Again? Cue one big brawl near the end, including Ash getting stoned and getting revived by the magic Poke-Tears, and Mewtwo decides,
screw it, I'll let the humans and Pokemon live.
And him and Mew leave the island with the clones and erase everyone's memories of being there. The end. Roll credits. As you can probably tell from the brief synopsis, I have an issue with Mewtwo's purpose/plan. First, he wants to take over the world because of his bad experience with humans. Okay, fine. As shown before, Giovanni was being a dick to him and used like a puppet, and the scientists just wanted to use him as a project and not treat him as a Pokemon. But then he decides he wants to destroy the world and recreate it. Okay, why? I don't know. Then he wants to have the clones inherit the planet. It's like the writers couldn't make up their mind on what they wanted Mewtwo to do, so they just wrote all of their ideas into the script and thought no one would notice. You had a good thing going, and then you blew it. Good job. Come on, Mewtwo, you have a kick-ass voice and great powers and abilities, so why do you suck as a villain? Especially when you plan to clone the Pokemon that you said were no better than humans. What kind of sense does that make? Now, I heard some people argue that Mewtwo is still infantile, so that's why he kept changing his plans. My response to that? Bullshit! If he can control his psychic energy well, as shown with the montage and the later fight, speak complete sentences, and have deep thoughts about the world, including wondering about his own purpose in life, then he would have stuck with his plan to rule the world since he would have thought it was for the best. So no, that response is bullshit. The writers just screwed up. But speaking of the writers screwing up, another problem I have with this film is the dialogue. Now, I can understand the need for puns in a kid's film. After all, a lot of us did grow up with stuff like Looney Tunes and other cartoons with a shit ton of puns in them. However, the problem comes in when you have dialogue that either states the bloody obvious, messes up the names of the Pokemon, or contradicts an earlier plot point. Let me show you some examples. Wait, what the hell is this? It's a letter from the Pokemon Company. Well, great. Says I can't play the audio from the film unless I want the Content ID police on my ass. Thanks a lot, Japan. Okay, so I can't play the original audio, so instead I'm just going to read out the line with my voice to try and combat the copyright system. So, let's try this again. Well, I'm going to New Island anyway. All my Pokemon are water types. Hurricane winds are a breeze for Pidgeotto here.
Mewtwo is a clone of Mew!
You humans are a dangerous species. You brought me into your world with no purpose but to be your slave. But now I have my own purpose. My storm will create my own world by destroying yours.
Yes, I could see the writers going places after this film, like the Pyramid of Light, Sonic X, and Winx Club. But I guess it could be worse. It's not like there's dialogue that contradicts what's going on at the current moment.
Behold, with Pokemon and humans eliminated, the clones shall inherit the world.
Translation:
Oh crap, it's the clones. Why did I make them again?
seriously, why the expression? Which also raises another question. Why make clones of weaker Pokemon when you could just make an army of Mewtwo's?
Oh, but Mounty, if he did that, then the world would likely be in peril!
This movie had a goddamn Pokemon kill humans. If this movie could do that, anything is possible. But even if an army of Mewtwo sounds stupid, here's my second argument. You're the strongest Pokemon in the world. Why even bother with the clones? It's like having to choose between a Pokemon that's as weak as a Magikarp or a Pokemon as strong as Arceus. I don't know about you guys, but I'm picking the goddamn Arceus. If Mewtwo wanted to rule the world, he could easily do it himself. He has the power to do so. But no, he wastes his energy on clones. Great job, jackass. So, that pretty much deals with my problems with the film's villain. But how does the other legendary Mew fare in this movie? I'm sorry, what? You mean this thing? I refuse to call that a character. It is nothing more than a pink fuzzball who pads out the movie and only becomes useful near the end. And even then, all it really does is have a game of bumper balls with Mewtwo. It doesn't even speak, even though it's not only a legendary, but was used as the base for Mewtwo.
Mew, it can learn almost every move in the game, but can't speak English.
But while I get the tools ready to neuter this thing, I will say that the other characters are fine. Unlike the legendaries of this film, they don't piss me off, and these characters do have good moments. I can recall some good comedic bits with Team Rocket, some of the scenes of the main characters were funny and interesting, and the new characters had, decent personalities. Another issue I have with this film was the music. Aside from the opening song and the one used in the montage, the other tracks were either bland/boring to listen to, or out of place with the scene it's used for. For example, let's have triumphant music playing when nothing is happening. Or, during a big battle to the death, let's play Brother My Brother, a happy-go-lucky song. You know, I would just love to see how these people would do if they were assigned to deal with the music for other films. Or shows, or anything. I wonder how that would go.
You're strong. You can do anything.
But I'm little.
Go see bad stuff. It's okay.
Now, supposedly this was done to better reflect the American audience, but let me ask you guys a question. Aside from Brother My Brother, the opening song, and maybe the one used in the montage, do you remember any song from this film? Not to mention, it's still no excuse for putting in unfitting music during certain scenes. So, yeah, music? Not very good. Are the action scenes any good, though? They had some entertaining fights, like in the montage with Mewtwo, and the fight between the clones wasn't, well, boring. But then we have the fight against Mewtwo and Mew.
Wow, they are so strong.
But at least it didn't spread an anti-violence message like the scene after that fight. Okay, to be fair, the scene saying that Pokemon aren't meant to fight like this is a decent point, since they usually didn't fight to the death in the show. Key term being usually. But the line, "This just proves that fighting is wrong," is ridiculous, since one of the main elements of Pokemon is the Pokemon battles, and even in the scenes before this, they battled other Pokemon and had no issues with it. So yeah, moral? You can go screw yourself with a horn drill. Okay, I think you guys can tell I did not like this movie a lot. And I can go on for a lot longer bitching about everything wrong with this film, but then I would be starting to nitpick a lot more, and, it's just not worth it. I know I said back in that list that I liked this movie because of nostalgia, but now that I've taken the rose-colored glasses off, I can see how stupid I was back then. Look, I understand some people like this movie, and that's fine. But in my opinion, this film is goddamn terrible. So, I'm the Mounty, and next time we meet, we will find out who is the chosen one in Pokemon the Movie 2000. Take care, everyone.